When the war ended in 1945, we flew 23 missions over Germany. 23 missions over Germany. And when the war ended in 1945, and none of us were 21. What about that? When I got called in right out of high school.
So you were drafted out of high school?
I got drafted right in. They give you an aptitude test, put the square things in the square hole and the round things in the round hole. And if you have an aptitude of any kind, coordination, depends on where they put you in. Well, you like airplanes, put you in that line over there, and you went to school. Went right in, and they put us on a train. You just think of this: the Pennsylvania Railroad was out of Wilkesboro City. We took the Pennsylvania Railroad down and I took my basic training in Biloxi, Mississippi. And then from there I went to Amarillo, Texas to engineering school. Went to engineering school in Amarillo, Texas, and I studied on the B-17 and the B-29, the one that bombed Japan. And then they gave me a choice: fly B-7, go with the B-17s or the B-29s. I took the B-17s. I went to Europe. That's why I picked it. I loved that B-17. And then again, the B-17 then had all the publicity and the honor and the glory of that bomber. Just think of us kids. Gave us a brand new bomber, and we flew it up to Goose Bay in Greenland. And from Goose Bay, we went over to Prestwick, Scotland, over the North Atlantic, and then they assigned us to a bomb group. Ended up on the 306 bomb group. If you got the picture, I was going to show you, but tell you what I did. There's one here, and this isn't me, but it tells you what it was like. See, you sit between the pilot and the co-pilot. You see it?
So you're like the brains of the operation.
Not much the brains. You had, when you're taking off, landing, you called out airspeed. You watch instruments for control. You feathered the engines. Like if a bomb hung up, I had to go into Bombay mechanically and drop it. Stuff like that. I was the ranking non-commissioned person on the plane. We were there lucky because we were there at the end of the war when the German Air Force was pretty much destroyed. When you're young, you say you're not scared. You're always scared. If anybody tells you they're not scared. But in those days when you were a kid, you seemed to have if I had to do it 80 years later, I'd be scared to death. But at that time, we were all full of vinegar, we got to get them. And as much as you were scared, you did it. But there's nothing we couldn't do. You had that feeling that no matter what you did, you were going to get them. When the war ended on VE Day, I was on a pass in London. How do you like that? We didn't get back for 2 days. Didn't know where we slept or what we were doing. And I was more interested in it because on the B-29 that carried that bomb, I studied the B-29. That was a pressurized bomber. You didn't need oxygen like the B-17s were on oxygen masks. That was pressurized. But when that war ended, it was like, boy. But we always felt like our war was over. You know what I'm saying? And once we signed up to go over, and they told us they weren't going to send us, but that was the big relief that we finally got them. We got them.
What was?
We said when Japan surrendered. I don't think there's too many of us left that were in combat. I read up on it. The thing that gets me more is when I look at this country today, I get sick. I look at this country today and I get sick, and I wonder what's happened. These are our kids and our grandkids. I can't complain about it. But I'm saying where we were in World War II and the peace and the love and the patriotism. Now they want to have 2 Star-Spangled Banners. They want to have all this stuff. I can't understand that. World War II guys can't understand that.